Welcome back, everyone. Like I always say in all my videos, I know it's been a minute. I've just been busy lifing, too much going on. But today, I figured I'd take this time to go ahead and put into a video how to replace the oil cooler O-rings on a Honda aquatrax jet ski. Now, the oil cooler O-rings is probably the number one failure point for water getting in your oil. You ever pull the dipstick on one of these and you see that your oil is all milky, like it looks like a milkshake? That means water has gotten in your oil. And a lot of times the oil cooler O-rings in here, they'll fail, or they get brittle over time and starts allowing water to get into your oil. So today I'm going to show you how to replace them and how to pretty much future-proof it to where you won't really have to worry about it ever again. It involves a little bit of RTV, so liquid silicone, or a gasket maker. But yeah, and now ideally you want to do all this with the engine outside of the jet ski. I have seen some people, they're able to unstrap the gas tank, and they're able to push it forward just enough to get these bolts out. Some of these bolts on this thing are really long, so when they come out, they're just going to hit the gas tank, and you may not be able to really get this thing off easily. But I know if you move the gas tank forward a little bit, you can make it happen. But for my sake, take the engine out, or just for, I'm the kind of person that likes to come in here and look. I want to be able to get down in here and observe what's going on. One time I did a jet ski where there was all kind of corrosion down in the bottom, and it was starting to corrode around where the O-ring sits, and I can come in here and clean. I can observe it. I can look at it. I can see what's going on. And if you're trying to do all that from the top with the engine in the ski, it's just hard to see down in there what's going on. So my suggestion is, if you're capable of pulling the engine and know how to do it, go for it. It just makes life a lot easier, in my opinion. But I've already loosened some of these up. You come in here. Very easy whenever you pull this off. That's fine. That'll work. I'm going to try to reuse this gasket if I can. I know you're not supposed to reuse gaskets. So you can see how long, look how far I have to pull this thing out. Now, I mean, I'm sure it's fine. You could probably still do it in the ski. I know you can. I've seen people do it, but you know. Make sure all your bolts. I don't want to like turn this thing upside down and lose all my bolts. I'll let this drip for a second. Now, I'm going to take this and I have another pan in my shop that I'm going to go get. Okay, so here's your oil cooler right here. So what happens is the oil, I don't know the flow, but it'll either come in or come in up here, and it flows through these. It's like a heat exchanger. Flows through these fins, and then this whole entire thing is water cooled. It's surrounded by water. And the water inlet is actually down here. There's a hose that comes in right here, and that water comes in and it flows up and then out. Flows up and then out. But this is your oil cooler. There's 4 10mm bolts. And I'm gonna try to clean this thing up a little bit. Let me set this back down. In here, there's one O-ring, there's the other. So you could see on this O-ring, there's a little bit of corrosion that has started to kind of encroach on this thing. And so that's where you will start to get water mixing in your oil. Remember, this whole area right here is full of water surrounding that heat exchanger. And so yeah, I mean, this will start to corrode, especially if you don't flush your jet skis, you know, it really, because like water goes and it accumulates down here in the bottom. And even if you flush your ski, when it accumulates, it just sits there after you flush it. I mean, even though it's good clean water, it still corrodes stuff. So, you know, that's why I suggest pulling your motor as well. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead, this is all gunk right here. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be a little void right here. I'm gonna go ahead and clean all this gunk out. See, look at this breaking up in here. I'm gonna kind of clean all this up with a wire brush. I'm gonna clean the whole thing up with a wire brush. I'm not gonna go crazy with it, you know, just break up some of the bigger parts. I mean, this is a saltwater ski, so you can see this is the result of salt water. So let me see about getting I have a table I'm using to stand my phone up on. Let me see if I can get y'all in here so y'all can kind of see what I'm doing to some degree. So there you have it. That's what that looks like. And there's the bottom one. The bottom one's pretty grimy. But you know, you get in there with a wire brush, shine it up. I mean, I don't recommend using like a wire wheel. I mean, this is all aluminum. You just gotta be really careful with aluminum. It's just not very stout. It breaks easy. It'll mold. It'll warp easy. So I mean, anytime I work on this kind of stuff, it's all hand tools. This is your top, your bottom. Okay, now, here is the secret sauce to all of this. Right here. Now I have ultra black. You could do ultra gray. Heck, you could probably even do red. The red Permatex. This is the Permatex brand gasket maker. And you take you a little bit of gasket maker and you go right around. You go on this surface right here. This outer flat surface. Don't slop it on there. You just do a thin layer of RTV around the outer edge. Don't slop it on there and get any on the O-ring. You just want to get the very, very flat surface of the O-ring right here. This whole area. And so, I gotta clean the oil cooler. You come in here and clean this oil cooler up. I'm getting ready to do that right now. But that's what you do. And same method. I'm just going to use my Scotch-Brite with a little bit of cleaner. Matter of fact, I'm going to wipe this off with a rag first. Alright. Now, it's time for the secret sauce. You just get you the littlest bit. You get a little bit on the O-ring, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. That's looking pretty good to me. I like that. I'll bring the camera in close. Show everybody. And you just need the thinnest layer. Like less is more when it comes to RTV. Especially where like your oil flows. I mean, this isn't oil. This is all oil. You know, I almost thought about just putting an RTV gasket around this whole hour thing, but I'm just going to try to reuse the actual gasket. But you just don't want any of the RTV gasket maker to like break off and get sucked up into the oil system or something. There, just like that. Now before I show the camera, I'm going to do the same on the oil cooler side. Okay. That's what you do right there. See that? The slightest little bit of RTV here, and here you can go a little bit. I mean, I just kind of put it on there. But it's nonetheless, it is a thin layer. You just don't want to slop any of this stuff on. You need to be methodical about it, and you need to just the thinnest layer of it right there. And so that's what it takes to pretty much future-proof your oil cooler O-rings. And and this gasket is kind of tricky to get on, because the gasket, this part of the gasket right here wants to hit this. So this corner of the gasket has to be behind this. It has to go behind it. One time, a few of my friends, they stuck this on without me around, and they just like put it on there, and this starts to, it bends it out. And I mean, I don't know if that, if it matters, but this part of the gasket needs to be behind this little lip. It's kind of a pain. There we go. Be just like that. And there is, or should be, there's an alignment pin there. And an alignment pin up here. So now, while that gasket maker sets on this, I'm going to go clean the cover. I'm just going to go same kind of thing. Okay, and we are back. I had to stop the video. I had to go bum a can of brake parts cleaner from my neighbor down the street. Okay, so to recap, got the oil cooler on. We put our RTV in there. After about 15 minutes, I did suck down these bolts a little bit. Let's see, this could have been bad. Alright, and there you have it. How to go ahead, replace the oil cooler O-rings. Just a little recap about what I did. So, pull the engine, take these bolts out, loosen them up, pull this whole cover off, pull off your oil cooler, pull off the oil cooler O-rings, the old ones. And, you just get your wire brush, go in there and clean up. If your stuff is clean, just pass a towel with some brake parts cleaner over it. I mean, or even a brush like this. This is like a glorified toothbrush, really. Just something kind of to agitate and break up whatever crud might be around there. And you put your good O-rings in. Make sure you get your RTV, and you do a thin layer of RTV on both sides, on the oil cooler side and where the O-rings are. And you just stick that oil cooler on, zip those bolts down, make sure everything's cleaned up, clean up your mating surfaces. That's what these are, you know. But this surface and then this other one, that's a mating surface there. It's just a flat surface. They call that a mating surface. And just make sure everything's clean as best as you can. You don't want anything, you don't want any dirt and grime that has settled in the bottom. I blasted all that out and wiped it all out as best as I could. If a little bit's in there, more than likely it'll be okay. It'll just get captured in the oil filter. So anyway, that's how you change the oil cooler O-rings in a Honda aquatrax jet ski. One of the main causes of water mixing in your oil. So with that being said, appreciate y'all watching. It probably isn't the most entertaining stuff in the world, but it's one of the questions that gets asked most in the Facebook groups is water mixing in your oil, what's causing it? And so I just figured I'd put it in a video. So there you go. Thanks everyone. Enjoy y'all's day, weekend, week, whenever you're watching this, and I'll catch y'all next time.